morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at maybe my favourite card artwork we've ever seen. And no, I don't say that lightly. We're going to have a big update about Misty in this video, but first we need to check out the illustration rare of Misty Psyduck. Look at this card. And it turns out, and I actually didn't notice this when I first saw how great the card was, it's actually by Okacheke, who I've made absolutely no secret of the fact is my favourite artist working in the Pokemon TCG. So the fact that we get this art, and it turns out it's by them, honestly, not that surprising. And what's really cool, this was shared by Poker Times, and we've actually got the clear artwork here, which is kind of absurd. I adore this, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely adore this. And I wish Pokemon would share more of this artwork with no text or any of that, because it's just phenomenal. This just became my chase set from the entire set. And I'm sorry, I don't think there's going to be anything in Hot Air Arena that's this good. Like, up till now, whenever anyone asks me my favourite card artwork, I'm not counting anything from Pocket, you know the card I'm talking about, I tell them it's probably the Flareon VMAX by Okacheke, because, oh my word, that card's redonkulous. Well, I genuinely might have a new answer here. It's just phenomenal. And it's partly because Misty's the coolest Gen 1 trainer, and partly it's because Psyduck is adorable and getting a lot of love lately. Partly it's because I grew up next to the sea, so any water cards always make me a little bit happier, remind me of sunny days at the beach, but just everything about this card is stunning. And remember, this is a playable card. Now, what the card actually does is, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, it does not work from the active. But if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the bottom card of your deck and then put this card on top of your deck. Why would you need to do that? Well, because this actually combos really rather nicely with the Gyarados from the set. And what the Gyarados from the set does is it discards the top 7 cards of your deck. Obviously, that doesn't sound amazing. But when you discard the top 7 cards of your deck, for every Misty's card discarded, you deal 70 damage. So the theory here is rather simple. You just discard a bunch of cards from the top of your deck, but because you know you've got a bunch of Psyduck on top of your deck, you know you're going to actually be doing a decent amount of damage here, and then you do big KOs. I mean, if you stack the 4 Psyduck on top of your deck, then that's giving you 280 damage, like straight off the bat. 280 damage without anything else. If you can hit 1 out of 3 cards as a Misty's, you're hitting 350 and getting a one-hit KO on literally anything. We've not seen an illustration rare of Misty's Gyarados yet, but I do feel like there probably has to be one coming. I don't think it's going to be as good as this Psyduck, let's be perfectly clear, but I would imagine this Psyduck isn't the only one that we get, especially as Misty now has confirmed no EX coming. We'll get to that one in a second. So if you want to be playing Misty, it's really going to be built around Misty's Gyarados for huge damage, and then you add in this Psyduck to guarantee that you're going to hit decent damage. It's actually a really playable card, and I actually collect all the illustration rares. I pick all of them up from every set anyway, but this is going to be one where this one's going to be a priority for me. This card is absolutely redonkulous and cements my opinion that Okacheke is the best artist working in the Pokemon TCG today. Not say anything against a million other artists who are all doing stunning work, but I think Okacheke is doing the best right now. There we go. I said it. But there was one Misty card we hadn't yet had a look at. It's not the Starmie, because I showed you that one the other day. We'll get to that in a moment. No. It was Misty's Lapras. Misty does not get a trainer card in this set. There is no trainer card specifically for Misty, which is a little bit sad, because most of the trainers get one. There's no EX here for Misty, which is a little bit sad, because the other trainer. Like, Misty is the first time we've had one of these trainers in the new era of trainers Pokemon where they don't get an EX. In this set, we've got Ethan, who gets Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. We get Arven, who gets Arven's Mabastiff EX. And we get Cynthia, who gets Cynthia's Garchomp EX. And then Misty just doesn't get one. Which I can't be the only one that thinks that's a little bit unfair. And obviously, we saw that in Battle Partners, 4 trainers, all of which got an EX. And then, of course, we had the Marnie and Steven decks, each of which came with an EX. Misty is the first trainer, since we've had this new era of trainers Pokemon, that actually doesn't get an EX. So there was one Misty card, apparently, that we were waiting for, and only one. It was Misty's Lapras. Was it worth the wait? Well, we've got 110 HP basic with lovely happy artwork, which makes me very happy. We've then got 2 energy, 60 damage. No. But what you do is you search your deck for 3 Misty's Pokemon, show them to your opponent, add them to your hand, shuffle your deck. That's what you do. That's what Misty's Lapras does. So, Misty's Lapras is one of those where it's not really doing much for helping you to win the game. The goal here is that it's helping you set up. That's about the best we can ask for. And actually, I don't hate this. I don't think it's stunning by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't hate it. Because essentially the theory here is you use this to search out your Pokemon, whether that's your Gyarados to evolve up your Magikarp, or whether it's just your Psyduck to go and bench, and then you're building up for big attacks with Gyarados. So this can help you get rolling. And as I've told you guys a bunch of times lately, sometimes putting a Pokemon active, like using Misty's Lapras for a turn or two, just to get set up, can actually be kind of a win. Because essentially what you do here is you sit behind it, searching out your Pokemon, getting your bench rolling and all of that. And then if and when your opponent takes a KO, you go, right, well now I can play a reset stamp to go and put you down to a 2-card hand. That's one option you've got here. Or you can then open up Counter Catcher to drag one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active, as an example. So there are things we can do here to take advantage of our opponent taking early prizes. Maybe that's where we go with Misty. As it is, I don't think that Misty's Lapras is essential even for Misty's decks. It's got a decent chunk of HP, and it attacks for 1 energy, so turn 1 going second. And bearing in mind, your attackers here are Starmie, who's a stage 1, and Gyarados, who's a stage 1. So you don't actually have a play turn 1 going second. There's nothing good you can really do turn 1 going second. I mean, you can hit third to a Psyduck if you really want to. In Pokemon Pocket, yes. In actual Pokemon TCG, no. So I do think this is your best option turn 1 going second, but maybe play it as a one-off for that. That is about the best I can tell you. Yeah, sorry. Let's give it 3 Wassies. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's particularly exciting. But I do wonder why Misty's gotten so ignored in this set, given her popularity as a trainer. Like I've said, we got 3 EXs in the set that are trainers Pokemon, for the other 3 not Misty. And then, I said that Misty doesn't have a trainer card here. Well, Ethan's got Ethan's Adventure. We've got Arven with Arven's Sandwich. And then we got Cynthia with Cynthia's Power Weight. So again, I ask the question of what did Misty do wrong? All the other 3 trainers get an EX and a trainer card. Misty, the entire Misty suite here is your Gyarados to hit big damage, your Psyduck to help, your Lapras to search it out, and then that Starmie that I showed you the other day. Starmie, by the way, is actually really quite good in the Misty deck, let's be clear. What you do with Starmie here is single energy, and if you evolved from Staryu this turn, it does 140. That's good for getting your smaller KOs while you save your Gyarados for the bigger KOs. And maybe this is going to work, and maybe this is going to be a playable deck, and that would be lovely. But remember, it seems like, and we're still early here, but it seems like the trainers get 1 set. None of the trainers from Battle Partners got any cards in Hot Air Arena. So it seems to be that essentially in every set, Pokemon are picking a couple of trainers, or 4 trainers, and they're going, here are some cards, here's what you get. But then that's it, that's all you get after that. So Misty becomes the first one to not get a trainer card, the first one to not get an EX. But actually, I still think this might work. I still think Gyarados is a decently fun playable card. I still think Starmie is a pretty fun playable card. I do actually think Lapras can help. And it's certainly going to be a deck I'm testing. It's just weird to me that Misty misses out. Sorry about that. For now, I want to know what you think about all of this. I want to know if you think Misty could be good. I want to know if you've got a theory as to why Misty doesn't get any of the fun. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Goodness! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Nawasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Kanto Royalty, who seems to be a very lovely person, has been a supporter of ours for a while, and weirdly always seems to end up getting a shout out on videos focused around Kanto Pokemon. It's genuinely not deliberate. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.